Welcome to a 10-1-10-1 review. My name is Nessa and today I'll be talking about Coral Island and how I felt after playing the game for 10 minutes, 1 hour, 10 hours, and 1 year in-game. As a person who does not have a lot of time to play games, I think that first impressions are so important, and the first 10 minutes to an hour of the game should give you a basic rundown of what it has to offer. That being said, I also know that farming and life sim games, RPG, and overall cozy games might need some time to shine, which is why I think it's very important to review the game at 10 hours and after a year in-game. How I felt at the 1 hour mark might change at 10 hours, and that could drastically alter again after I've gone through an entire year in the game. I won't be rating Coral Island on a scale, but I'll definitely talk about the things that I liked and the things that I wished it did differently, so you can make an informed choice on whether the game is for you. So without further ado, let's get into the review. Coral Island, developed by Stairway Games, is in the farming and life sim genre. In the game, you can farm, ranch, mine, fish, catch tons of bugs, clean up the ocean, and build relationships along the way. Coral Island is available on the PC, PlayStation, and Xbox consoles for $29.99 USD. The game supports multiplayer, but I was not able to try out the multiplayer for this review. I also exclusively played Coral Island on the PC, so any discussion on bugs or performance is specifically only to the PC version. You are the new farmer that moves to Coral Island, a picturesque place that was on its way to glory until an oil spill washed away all of that progress. The residents of Starlit Town began to leave, and the folks that stay are very concerned about Pufferfish Corporation wanting to turn their town into a hub for oil. Soon, you get chosen by the nature goddess to heal the island and restore balance. As of this review, I have addressed the oil spill and healed the land, although there's still stories that I have not completed yet, which relate to the completion of shrine offering bundles and what I assume to be the main story. In the first 10 minutes, I was able to customize my character and basically got introduced to my farm for the first time. I really appreciated that the game uses sliders for color selection. You can change your skin tone, hair color, and eye colors this way, which makes the customization really fun. The game also allows you to choose and customize your honorific, skip the intro cutscene, and disable tutorials. After customizing my character, I was treated to the intro cutscene of her arriving on Coral Island on what seems to be a wicker chicken boat, which is also really unique since I've never seen this vessel for traveling before in a farming sim game. Instantly, you notice these black, thick vines in the water, but other than that, Coral Island looks pretty nice. I was greeted by the mayor who showed me to the farm where the local carpenters are busy fixing up my house. The exterior looks really fancy already, and I like the dialogue that we had with the carpenters since it gave me a little bit more insight on their personalities. Finally, the mayor introduced me to the field for the first time, and it's extremely huge, as well as covered in tons of trash and debris. He gave me some tools and then left me to get acquainted with the farm. Overall, the first 10 minutes went by incredibly fast due to the introductions. I was extremely excited to start farming and figuring out my life on this island. So far, if you don't count the wicker chicken boat, the beginning is pretty standard for a farming sim game where you arrive in town and then someone of authority, usually the mayor, will show you to your farm and give you some tools. I was definitely priming myself for a more traditional farming sim game due to this introduction, and I couldn't wait to play more since I was really digging the visuals and the details that were in the game so far. After the 10 minutes, I got to properly start cleaning up my farm area a little bit to plant my first crops. Coral Island uses a stamina system, so there's not much that you can do in the beginning without running out of stamina quickly. Luckily, you can eat items to restore stamina, and the mayor did provide you with some food in the beginning to get you going. After managing my farm for a little bit, it was time to start exploring my new home. There were so many different areas to discover. Each place I went to was different and quite an exciting discovery. from the observatory to the vineyard to the community center. I spent the rest of the second day just exploring the town and marveling at how detailed everything was. Each house that I went into was different, and I just could not believe that people were moving off of this beautiful island. After exploring for a day, I completed my first quest to upgrade my house. I love that the game gave me the option to choose a different style for how my house looked, and I absolutely adored the cutscene of my character helping the carpenters fix it up. The cutscenes that I've seen so far really helped me to develop my relationship with the townsfolk. After fixing up my house, I went exploring some more because even though I spent the majority of the second day wandering around the island, there was still a lot more to see. The game introduced me to crafting and gifting, as well as fishing and bug catching during this time. The fishing minigame is relatively simple, and you just have to reel in your catch, but be wary of the line tension, as if it gets too tense, then the fish will break away. For bug catching, you have to employ a method of stealth to get close enough to catch a bug without it spotting you. Of course, later you can upgrade your fishing rod and your bug net to make these things a little bit easier. Before I knew it, my third day of spring was over, and so was my 1 hour playing. At this time, my impression remains pretty much the same. I was having a lot of fun with the game so far, and I was still very much at the beginning of my journey on Coral Island, since it took me a good hour to complete just 3 days. Still, I was very excited to develop my relationships and see where my farming adventures would take me. As quickly as my first hour went by, the 10 hours also flew by fairly quickly as I unlocked 3 more time-consuming features in the game. The first one, of course, comes as no surprise. After 2 hours in the game, around day 5, I unlocked the mines. The mines in Coral Island work pretty much like other farming sim games. You have to break rocks to find holes to fall down so you can go deeper. There are monsters to fight off, and every 5 levels or so, you unlock an elevator to return to the floor later on. Like in other farming sim games, the mines are pretty important for getting the required ores that you need to level up your tools and use in various other crafting recipes. The next time-consuming feature I unlocked was the ability to dive. You get a letter from a researcher named Ling who is trying to get volunteers to clean up the ocean. This sounds like a breezy job since you're able to keep the diving suit afterwards, but once I took a look at what I was actually dealing with, I could see how Ling's other volunteers gave up so quickly. The ocean is filled to the brim with trash, and it's up to you and your trusty scythe to dig up solar orbs that have the ability to cleanse the area. Once an area is cleared, new areas will be unlocked and you get to do it all over again. I spent quite a lot of time diving and cleaning up trash, definitely way more than other games for sure. The third time-consuming feature that you unlock is the bundle collection system. I unlocked offerings to the altar at the lake temple in my 3rd hour, and I completed my first bundle around spring 18. You have to donate a variety of different items, sometimes in a specific quality or higher, to complete each bundle. Once you're able to complete a bundle, it will give you a small gift like a crafting machine or seeds that you may not have, and once all the bundles in a shrine are completed, then you have access to bigger gifts like unlocking the greenhouse. I really love that the bundles are fairly quick to complete, and items will let you know whether they can be offered or donated. This was really helpful to complete the bundles in a timely manner since I can open my inventory and see what I haven't offered yet. However, even if you're on top of getting all the items needed for the bundle, it will take you quite some time to get them since some bundles require offerings that you can only get in a certain season or offerings that you can only get once your tools are of a higher quality to collect them. These 3 time-consuming features definitely lived up to their titles. My 10 hours flew by as I was alternating between going to the mines, diving, and focusing on completing bundles whenever I got bored of the other or whenever my tools were being upgraded. I was motivated by the stories of each one, since going deeper into the mines will unlock a very important feature. Cleaning the ocean will, of course, revitalize Coral Island itself and unlock a new region with new people, and completing these shrine offerings will unlock things such as the greenhouse. Despite my heavy work days in the mine or under the sea, I still had time to attend the local festivals when they came up. I was blown away by how wonderfully detailed the festivals in Coral Island are. On festival days, you can check a little brochure to see the location of where it is and where certain activities are located. Entering the festival area will trigger a little montage of the activities you can partake in, and the festivals are decorated extremely well that I really felt like we were celebrating something big. The mini games during the festivals have all been different, and the shop stocks festival related items that you can't get any other time of the year. I really appreciate that there are more than one festival in a season, so I always had something to look forward to, and it didn't feel too far away, giving me a break from all the tedious work that I was doing to revitalize the island. I made it to about summer 9th in the game when I hit 10 hours. At this point, besides showing my face at the occasional festival, I was not focused on relationships at all, and I didn't really know anyone in town. I had no time to manage a relationship since I was way too busy being the chosen one and saving the island. And I was wondering whether building a relationship would actually happen during the first year, since all the tasks ahead of me seemed to be pretty lengthy activities that took up a lot of my time. I still had a lot to do, and I still felt as though I was really early in the game, so I guess relationships are just gonna have to stay on the back burner for now. Spring snuck up on me after 36 hours of playing. From summer 9th to the end of winter, I unlocked enchantments to add to my tools, the ability to increase the rank of my crops and animal products, more artisanal crafting machines, automations, and the ability to become a mermaid, among a few other things. I had a variety of different animals ranging from cows and chickens to goats and ducks, and my sprinklers were doing the heavy lifting and making sure all my crops were watered daily, while I ran around going on dates with as many romanceables as I could to make up for lost time. Luckily, I was able to finally breathe and started getting to know the townsfolk a bit more as time progressed, and my farm became more automated. I reached the bottom of the mines and completely healed the ocean by winter 3, so the rest of winter was all about dates at the tavern, volunteering at the animal center, and stargazing with potential loved ones. Just as I was blown away by the festival system in this game, I was also blown away by the intricacies of hanging out. You can gift and hang out with romanceables twice a week, so there's no pressure to see them and gift them daily. If you ask them to hang out with you, you're prompted to select a location and an activity. Some activities are free and some cost money. Once you've decided where to go, you're treated to a very cute cutscene of you and your date hanging out. Sometimes they may have specific events and will talk to you after the hangout so you can get to know them a bit more. These are independent of their hard events, which also give you more insights on who they are as a person. I totally love hanging out since the developers have seriously put so much heart into these cutscenes. Even if you choose the same activity, the cutscenes vary, so you're not always witnessing the same thing. I think that little details like this really show the love that the devs have for their game, and I definitely felt myself growing closer to the romanceables quite quickly due to the quality of these cutscenes. Even though I didn't manage to date anyone by the end of winter, I definitely have my top contenders, and I'm really excited to see what the wedding and marriage system might look like, although that won't be for this review. So with that, let's get into the things that I like and things I wish were different. Since there is crafting in this game, I'm very appreciative that machines will pull from nearby chests. I'm also appreciative that there are automations that you can run in order to streamline your crafting so you don't have to manually do it all alone. The details in this game are truly lovely. The town is decorated for festivals, NPCs will change their clothes when the season change, and even comment on recent things that have happened. It really gives me a sense of immersion and make Coral Island feel like home by the end of my year-long journey. I love the ability to teleport to different areas of the island and even to the regions you discover underwater. Usually I would have a horse by now, but Coral Island makes getting around town so easy that I didn't feel like I needed to go get one since traveling between points is pretty instant. I like that you eventually unlock the ability to move things around your farm in an overview type of way instead of having your farmer move everything manually since it does cost stamina to do so. I like that this is balanced with the fact that you have to pay for everything that you move, so it's not just something you can do whenever you want. It keeps the immersion of the game as the game also gives a reason to why you're able to do this. The customization options in the game are really fun. I like that you can change your hairstyle and outfits, as well as the furniture you put in your house and how your farm looks like. I spend a lot of time decorating my farmlands, and I could see how endgame is basically trying to make my farm look as pleasing to my taste as possible. I also can see how this can work in multiplayer, where you decorate your farm and invite friends to come over to see how it looks like. I love the cutscenes in this game. They do such an amazing job of making you feel as though you're actually getting to know the other person better. The hangout system is really well done, and I love that going on the same hangout will yield one of several cutscenes, so you're not always looking at the same one. Of course, I also have to mention my love for the festivals in this game more than once, because I want more games to go all out for their festivals. I love the mini games, decorations, and items that you can purchase. It really feels like a grand event, and I'm always looking forward to the next one. There's not really anything that I wish I knew sooner, but definitely my tip for you is to complete the first shrine offering as soon as possible so that you can unlock the ability to teleport around the island. This is a major game changer and has greatly improved my quality of life. The main thing that I wish was different is the ability to queue up more than 3 items per crafting machine. Some crafting machines of course take up to 5 items, such as the furnace, but then you have the keg, the cheese press, and the mayonnaise making machine over here, only accepting 3 in queue at a time, and it just drives me so crazy. First off, the first barn and coop allows you to have 4 animals, but the respective crafting machines only allows you to queue up 3. So I have to literally make 2 crafting machines to accommodate for my 4 animals. I wish I could upgrade them to hold more in queue, because at this point I think I'm going to have to make a bunch of sheds and stock them with crafting machines to hide how much there are on my farm. Coral Island really cemented itself as one of my favorite farming sim games just based on the polish and quality that it has presented me the entire time that I've been playing. Although my 10 hours in was very tedious due to the grinding I had to do in the mines and underwater, things definitely turned brighter on the other side with my upgraded tools and the amount of free time that I now have to pursue other interests such as decorating and hanging out. I certainly would not restart and do it all over again, mainly because I just don't have time to do that. But I am extremely happy that I got the grind out of the way, since I felt like I made a lot of progress, and I definitely would keep playing with where I am now. There's so many things I want to do, and I also want to see what happens after completing all of the shrine offering bundles. I think this game is for you if you like farming simulation games in general. The formula is definitely there, and there's also a lot of quality of life features and fun to be had. There's lots of customization and decorations. There's taking the townsfolk on dates. There's bundles to collect, items to donate, and the list goes on. It's definitely worth the higher price tag, as the game really feels premium. When I started playing Coral Island, I was going through a bit of a rut, and I really didn't want to play another farming sim, but it definitely breathed life back into my love for the genre and got me out of the rut really quickly. Well, there you have it. What do you think of Coral Island? Is this game for you? What made you decide to either pick it up or put it back down? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like what I do and you want to see more, please consider liking and subscribing to see more content like this. Coral Island was voted by the community to be my review game, and I periodically will put out polls so you can vote on what you want to see covered next, so you don't want to miss it. I'm also very active on Blue Sky, so come over and say hi if you have an account. Well, I'm going back to baking cookies at the end with a potential marriage candidate. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.